and I welcome you all as a part of our workshop series by Health Basics. With us, I have Miss Shraddha. Shraddha is our senior in-house special educator. She comes with over more than 20 years of experience in the field of special education. And not only has she worked exclusively with children, but she has worked with a lot of families on an independent basis and with multiple schools, NGOs, and child development centers. She has begun and started her career in Bangalore and soon spread out to multiple parts of the country. Currently, Shraddha resides in Gurgaon in Haryana, and she is a part of our training team for our in-house special educators who provide special education services to schools. So, welcome, Shraddha, and I give the stage to you.
Thank you so much.
So, today's topic is on identifying and recognizing signs of special education needs among school-going students. So, Shraddha, I give the whole platform to you.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm Shraddha, as Ashrita introduced me. We're going to have a interactive session next few minutes, or rather an hour, where we will understand as the screen, as you can see on your screen, identify children with special needs in the classroom scenario. Even before we start, anybody wants to give in any output or give in any input or give me any of your introductions? Nobody wants to give the introduction?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Uh, my name is Akila,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm from Health Basics. And I've been working as a counselor in Freedom International for 2 months now. And yeah, and I've been learning and understanding what is happening through my experience in this 2 months.
Wonderful.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to understand more from you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody who has an experience of working in a classroom scenario, if any of you have been a classroom regular teacher, if you want to share your thoughts, your doubts, or your success stories. Because I want this to be an interactive session. I'm not going to give you a lecture. You'll all mute yourself and doze off.
May I speak again?
Yeah, please, Akila.
Yeah. So when you told about the success story, I did identify like in my one go, like the teachers came with a lot of, issues and all that in my school. But my success stories begin with, I feel like, through positive reinforcements for a lot of students, like especially the students with special needs that I have identified per se. uh yeah, people who were like very eh, that showed like behavioral issues and like uh also like academic issues, now they do score at least something and do also have shown improvement in their uh what yeah in their behavior as well through the positive reinforcements that I've tried. So that's my so far the experience that I have. So yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's how it should be. I mean, we help a child to get back to mainstream. That is the success story, not keeping the child with us for years on end.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we start off with identifying children with special needs in the classroom. That's the topic for the evening. Okay, even before we start off the topic, what do you see in the picture? Don't say it loud. Just make a note of it somewhere, or make a note of it in a book, or make a mental note of the same. What comes to your mind the moment you see this picture? What do you see actually? Done? Everybody is done? Okay, what did you all see in the picture?
Dancing girls.
You saw a girl,
An old man.
an old woman. Okay. I thought everybody must have seen something. I want your replies.
Old man with a white mustache.
Okay.
Someone has left a message saying old man and soldier boy and girl.
You saw a boy and a girl.
Soldier boy and girl.
Soldier boy and girl. Okay. If you saw the armored knight, this is what it actually, we know all this as part of our visual perception images. If you saw armored knight, you may be somebody who's built a wall between you and the rest of the world due to past emotional burdens, and you crave for an emotional connection with others. For whoever saw the dancer, you have a romantic way of thinking about the world around you so much that you may find it difficult to adequately express yourself. You love and appreciate your closest friends and family, but often are unsure of how to say it. Try learning something new. Somebody saw an old person, elderly person, right? You tend to look at the bigger picture and have a hard time appreciating the little things along the way because your eyes are focused on the broader scheme of things. While it's good to keep the big picture in mind, it's also pertinent to enjoy the journey to get there. Anything else that anybody saw which we missed? Okay, so coming to our topic, identifying children with special needs in a classroom requires careful observation, awareness of developmental milestones, and understanding of typical behavior. So, okay, I am going to stop this and ask you guys what do you think a teacher can observe in a classroom scenario? What are the signs of some child or somebody who, I wouldn't say fit into the class, but somebody who has some other way of differential way of learning? What comes to your mind, or what could be the problem seen by a teacher in class?
They will not be in their own world. They'll get distracted.
first I see in all classes when I go to observation that they will not follow the simple instruction given by the teacher.
Okay.
This is the first thing I saw in most of the classes when I went for the observation.
Okay. They don't follow instructions and
Yes.
they, okay, so what
They have to smear when others are taking one book from the back, they take time to understand that they have to come to the next period and they have to take the other subject. So that goes into the mind very late for them.
okay, okay. So it is more as in when they're given an instruction in a group. You're trying to say that in a classroom
Yes.
scenario, when the
Yes.
teacher gives an instruction or
Yes, ma'am.
some kind of an thought which is shared in a group is a little difficult for them,
Yes.
so they need that
Yes, ma'am.
one-on-one input
Yes, ma'am.
or maybe even repeated instructions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody else? What is the first thing that you hear from regular teachers, or what you see in a class? What is a problem, or rather, how different are some children? Yes, Akhila.
Some of the common things that the teachers have told would be something related to their behavioral issues or
Okay.
academic issues or
Mhm.
not typical behaviors, untypical behaviors that not many students exhibit that they show, or like most of the cases, I think, and then sometimes repeated behaviors. Some of the things that I have observed or I've heard from teachers mostly is what.
Okay, okay. So Winnie writes here that the mood swings. We see that they have issues with behavior. Behavior is an umbrella term which includes probably your mood as well. So
Yes.
anything else that we see in the first thing that comes to our mind, or when we see when we go for an observation in a classroom scenario? Nobody wants to give me any other inputs?
I think it is also in the communication style. Sometimes there will be repetitive words, or there may not be a full conversation that some children cannot maintain.
Yeah, they may not be able to have a communication, two-way communication may be absent, or even expressing their thoughts is also an issue. And they could have, when you actually go into their academics and other stuff, you can see that their writing may be an issue, spelling, reading. There could be lots of problems which our children face.
Correct, correct.
Okay, so as a regular teacher, or since we all work with children in some form or the other, and as educators and facilitators, the class teacher is the first person of contact with the child after the parents, because the child spends the maximum time in the school after the home front. So the general teacher is the first person who actually understand, or who will see that the child is a little different from the others. The child is not interacting, or I don't say that somebody is special, or I mean you have to follow the same rule for everybody. No, if all of us look alike and speak alike, then we would all have been robots and boring people. All of us have different feelings, the way we look, the way we talk, the way we interact. So these children could be different in the way that it's not that they are dumb, if I can use that word, but then they are the ones who want a different way of instruction, or they like to understand, or they simply put, their brain is differently wired. Be it a child on the spectrum, whom we commonly say as autism spectrum disorder, a child ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, a child with specific learning disability, or dyslexia, which is the most common form of it. They have been wired differently, and they need to be taught in a different way. The same method as we teach most children may not work with these children. Okay, for a teacher, how do you identify? There could be certain areas which, as a teacher, as a person who observes, even as a parent, you can see these differences in these children. Cognitive academic delays, they may not understand the basic concepts which children of that particular age should understand. For instance, if a 5-year-old child is there, you can't expect the 5-year-old to solve the word problems or convert from meter to kilometer in a maths thing as a 6th or a 7th grader. They should be tested at their level, and the child may be struggling with the basic concepts in reading, writing, or math. Following instructions, it could be multi-step instruction. What is a multi-step instruction? The teacher says, children, take out your English book, open page number 22, read the paragraph 1. So for a child, I as a child, I may just listen to the first step, and I may miss out the second and the third. I just listen to the first one, go and take out my English book. I don't know what to do after that, because I am having trouble following this multi-step direction. And slow progress. We see that in a class of 30, all 30 will not perform at the same level. In spite of repeated teaching, the child will show slow or minimal academic improvement. And this is not something based on one particular test or one particular assessment. It has to happen over a period of time. The child has memory issues, recalling information, and my struggle to grasp logic, pattern, cause and effect. These are the areas that the child may have issues, and over a period of time. Just because a child shows some issues in the past 1 month, you just don't go say that, okay, this child has academic delays, or is struggling, or is a special needs child. It has to happen for a period of time. The next area which could be a red flag is your communication. Limited vocabulary. Unlike the other children in the class, they keep repeating the words, they misuse the words, and they're not able to express themselves. If they want something, they want to go to the washroom, and because they can't express, that's where you have these mood swings, behavior outbursts, and frustration in the child. We have seen this poor articulation in younger kids. If speech is very unclear, and it's difficult for peers and teachers to understand, and this again brings down the confidence of the child, because the other children may make fun of him or her, and the child is becoming conscious about it. Trouble following conversations, like how Ashrita mentioned, they have a trouble in understanding or engaging in back and forth conversations. Anybody wants to add on some points to this, or given their inputs or experiences? Okay, the next area would be social emotional challenges, which is interaction with peers. There are children who hardly maintain friendships, and are sitting secluded. They don't want to play with anybody, they don't understand, or they're little hesitant in group activities. The child may misinterpret body language, facial expressions, tone of voice. Overreaction may display heightened emotional response such as anxiety, frustration, and they may not understand the feelings of others. Another area which teachers can actually see a child's problem areas in a classroom setting would be your behavior. The child has inattention, is hyperactive, impulsive, emotional outbursts, and non-compliance or defense. They don't want to follow the instructions. They may run without thinking. They may harm themselves or somebody else. These are the behavior indicators in a classroom where the teacher can see that this child needs some kind of a support. This is something which we usually ignore, the sensory processing. Children usually are very sensitive to noise, certain textures. If you have seen that in a classroom setting, some children don't want to eat hard food. Some don't want the crunchy apple. Some don't want to eat the soft chapati, and they don't like certain textures, even the cloth material, and they don't like to be touched by anybody. And then they have sensory seeking behavior. They have repetitive behavior such as rocking in a chair, touching something excessively. It's more of an obsession. And they avoid certain materials, classroom supplies. Some children have this thing towards Play-Doh. They don't want to touch that. The other important area where the children may show certain discomfort is the emotional well-being. They're always sad, anxious, and then mood swings, low self-esteem. They are always feeling low, and they think they're always a failure. Excessive self-criticism. These are the signs of the trouble in a child, where the child needs some specialist support and help, be it a therapist, a special educator, a counselor, as per the requirement of the child. Okay, so if I have to ask you, anybody wants to give in their input? Any point that I have missed which you want to share about? Any other red light area which we usually observe in children? Nobody has.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, Kavita.
I'm Kavita, ma'am.
Yeah. tell me.
One kid is there, ma'am. He is irritation. Then he is pushing others also, ma'am. Running and then out of he is pushing others. Yes, ma'am. ASD kid.
So yes, so you
He
see that
didn't
kind
speak.
of, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is a behavior you see, and that's when you know that. And this behavior has to be there for a period of time. All of
Yes,
us
ma'am.
have a mood swings and bad days and good days. It's not a one day affair. The child displays this kind of a behavior over a period of time.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody else, any child that you remember, or any case that you have handled who's had some kind of a, how exactly will you identify?
बना देना.
Yes, Kavita. You again raised your hand.
No, ma'am.
Akhila, you wanted to say something.
Yes, ma'am. I think I had two cases actually. One is a child with repeated speech, uh, like she has like echolalia. So the thing is, she would not comprehend what if she's learning what is happening like through her peers, she would know how to speak, but otherwise she won't understand otherwise, like the novel concepts.
So
Uh,
she would learn from her classmates and her age group.
yeah. So if you ask her what is her favorite, no, what is this color, she has learned that. Okay, so this is a student of UKG. So the she would say those things like this is the color. She would know the colors because she has learned it from other people. But if you ask her what is the color of the sky, she wouldn't know that. So she would say, "What is the color of sky?"
Okay,
So
she would.
something like that.
Okay, whatever she doesn't know, she would repeat what the
Yes,
question was. Okay.
yes. So that is, and then she has a problem with the food she eats. She's very particular about the food she eats, and also she was very distant from other people, and she was very attached to just one teacher or like friends or something like that. But once she comes to know like me or the counselor or someone else, then she becomes very interactive with those people, and she'll be excited to show things that she knows, but she wouldn't, you know, really talk about. She wouldn't really respond to things that she doesn't. If she does, she will just repeat those as questions, like how we asked her.
So you're still working with her?
Yes, I am.
Good.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Any other pointers? Okay. To sum it up, what are the common red flags where that one gets to observe in a classroom? The child struggles academically, then social interaction, difficulty building friendship, instruction following, directions to follow directions and to organize tasks, poor coordination, they have issues with their gross motor and fine motor. Tying shoelaces is an issue till a particular grade, but if the child is struggling even in grade 2, that's something which we need to attend to ASAP. And extreme emotional responses. All children go through emotions, but then if the child reacts to every classroom situation which where the response is not required, then the teacher has to do something about it. The next question which comes is, what should the teacher do? I'm not sharing the slide. I want you to tell me what should the teacher do. If okay, I am a general teacher and I find a child in my class who has a few of this, the gross motor skills, the fine motor skills, the reading, the writing, emotionally, so what do I do? I have this class, so I just curse my stars that, hey Bhagwan, why is this child in my class? Is that what I do? Or do I quit my job saying that I can't handle this challenge? As a regular teacher or as a parent also, if I see these kinds of traits in my child, what am I supposed to be doing?
And when I go to observation in most of the classes, they know the child is like that, and they help very well in whatever. If the notes are incomplete, they will call them. These are not are incomplete. I will help you out with that. They will not even scold the child at all. Ma'am. I've seen that.
Lucky you, and lucky the children of the school.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Winnie girl.
Hello, ma'am.
Good evening.
Actually, in whole classes, it happen कि teacher help kids. But जैसे जैसे classes बड़ी होती हैं, स्टैंडर्ड बढ़ता जाता है तो वहाँ बच्चा लैग करता जाता है, तो वहाँ भी टीचर्स को अपने एफर्ट्स लगाने चाहिए थोड़े से।
Actually, your point leads somewhere else. I need to mention this. Of course, this is not related to what we are talking about. The observation that I have had, and I think quite a few of you would agree with me, that initial grades, maybe till grade 3 or even stretch it up to grade 5, teachers are full of enthusiasm, and so are the children. But as the grades go a little higher, teachers are also, they lose their zeal, and even children are like, they think it's a burden on them to do whatever, even for a regular child.
Like my son is in 4th standard, but he get neglect in class. Sometimes he don't complete his work, so teacher don't push them or don't give them personal attention or extra something. So there is missing something. So
So that's
teachers
what I'm
should,
saying. The younger grades, the teachers are also full of enthu. I've seen it in quite a few schools. The teachers are also, probably the amount of workload is less in the lower grades. So probably third, fifth, till fifth, I see that enthusiasm in both of them. But as the grades go higher, and the teacher also, teachers, and what I have seen is teachers for the older grades are usually the senior teachers. They are the experienced ones, the so-called experienced ones who are supposed to be senior. So for them, it's just that boring job of coming, delivering the lecture, question paper, answers, finishing it.
yes. So they don't dismotivate, but they teachers don't dismotivate, but they don't make efforts also.
Exactly.
What I realize.
True. I agree with you. When I feel that.
Yes.
Anyone else? What should a general teacher do? What should I do?
Ma'am, here I've seen in 6, 7, 8, they will tell to take the friend's notebook and complete it. And you go home. Like that, they will give an instruction. And all these teachers who are previously handling will give the information. She's like that. He's like that. So you have to help them. Otherwise, they cannot complete. Like that, that information is being done. So they
Yes,
know
you
the.
have those anecdotes and you have those little notes which you
Yes,
pass on
ma'am.
about each
Yes,
child
ma'am.
to the
Yes,
next
ma'am. Yes,
next
yes,
year's teacher,
yes,
so
yes.
that she is aware that this child will need this kind of a support,
Yes,
and she
ma'am.
supports accordingly.
They have that anecdotal which has been done from KG till 12th standard.
Wonderful, wonderful. So there you of course, Vidya, you spoke about the peer buddy system, which we will talk about little later, wherein the teacher can do make a peer buddy. Usually it is the girls who are smarter and able to handle and support. They are more responsible. So
Yes, ma'am.
uh,
I've seen in first standard, I saw a kid who was handling the other kid in such a way. I was very shocked, ma'am. She handled her in a way like a best friend, and everywhere where she misses, she will take care of her in such a way she completes everything with her itself.
usually I have seen that girls have that I don't know, innate quality to help and support. If a student is smart enough to complete her work quick, assign her as a peer buddy to the child who needs support, so she will help and ensure that the child completes his or her work. Okay, what else can a general teacher do? Yes, Lakshmi.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
This may not be a suggestion or solution. What can a general teacher do? Because I am myself a general teacher, primary. I have one boy in my class, and he has his own shadow teacher with him. But sometimes I feel like connecting with him, but I don't know any way out how to, because he's a little hyper, but he doesn't harm anyone. He harms himself if he gets. थोड़ा भी उसको अगर अर्क हो जाता है तो he bites his hands, he shouts, but just to want to know how to connect with him.
See, the reason why he is biting and why he is doing that, harming himself, is he is trying to express and we are not able to understand.
Yes, maybe.
Imagine, मुझे जर्मन भाषा नहीं आती है, मुझे जाके किसी ने जर्मनी में, बर्लिन में मुझे छोड़ दिया और आसपास सारे वही भाषा बोलते हैं, तो मैं क्या करूंगी? I
He
am
has,
at a loss. I don't know what to do. I will
yes,
go up.
yes.
I may hit myself to the pillar. I may do something like that.
He bites a lot. In fact, उसको हाथ उसका red हो जाता है, wounded हो जाता है हाथ. But and you know he constantly makes solar system. I don't know his obsession.
Oh, okay.
He constantly makes solar system. Any paper, board, wherever. So
Is he assessed?
sorry, ma'am.
Has he been assessed?
Uh, he writes very nicely and he speaks words also properly.
No. Has he been? How old is he? Has he got a formal assessment?
I
He
am
is in third standard actually, and he gives exam as per his capabilities.
Okay.
excuse me, the Lakshmi ma'am is talking what I am a special educator and a psychologist. So basically the child is diagnosed with the autism.
Okay. Okay. That's what I was. I was under the impression that the child must be on the spectrum. That's why he's not able to communicate and that biting thing.
He is
Yes.
a verbal child, and the main is for demanding nature, because if it is, we started the ABA therapy and occupational therapy, and even like physiotherapy is also going. He is absolutely fine for physical work, but because of the anxiety and because of lots of demand for behavioral issues, so we started behavior modification, and in school we started behavior modification and the academic part.
But he's improvising. He shows growth, and it's
They
not like
will.
all the time he's hyper. He is 90% he's calm. But what 10% sometimes he shows aggression, but he doesn't bother if other children are talking to him, looking at him. He doesn't bother at all.
See, they will definitely improve. It's not that we have completely shut them away. And what I have observed in my experience is children on the spectrum, on ASD, they usually have their, I wouldn't put it as fixation, liking for certain things. They either, like what the way you said about the solar system,
Yes.
they like a particular topic. I know a couple of boys who love numbers. So anything you teach them is with numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So all your concepts have to be in and around the topic that they like. So if you give them something with numbers, they will be very happy to do. And there's another child who is actually obsessed with cars. So
Okay.
whatever concept that I have to teach, or even the regular teacher has to teach him, it has to be something to do with cars, because that's where he focuses and he gives his attention.
Yeah, that the shadow teacher works really fine. She's working as per his, the likings and requirements. कि उसको उसके ऊपर छोड़ देते हैं, तो he shows good performance ऐसा.
Good.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
You will have more inputs about what to do if you have a child in class. So the next part of it.
I want to learn and know.
No. It's always good to know. I mean, it's not that it always has to be a specialist only at the classroom level, because end of the day, it's the teacher in the class who has to handle the child. We are there to support and facilitate. But end of the day, it is the teacher who has to have certain tips. And today you have enough and more ways to learn and to upgrade. Because I myself know a HM of a reputed school in Gurgaon, of course, and she was somebody who didn't have a single update or even the smallest information about what these special needs children are. And she went on to learn so much, and she used to ask me also. She's like, Shraddha, how does this happen? Tell me. And she started reading. We started sharing material with her and she started reading. Good to know. I mean, how can you help the child? It's always good to know. That's why I say it's always good to know. Anybody
Yes.
else wants to say something else? Or
Lakshmi, Lakshmi ma'am, if you have any question or regarding, Aditya or all, you can definitely ask me.
That's what I feel as he has a shadow teacher. Sometimes I feel कि I may not, interact with him because his speech abilities are on a very lower level. So he just ignores, but I feel like talking to him sometimes.
Trust me, my experience says children on the spectrum are very soft and very good hearted children, and they are very affectionate.
There's one more girl, she keeps on hugging everyone and she writes so beautifully. That's very amazing. She's completely special, I think, but she writes very beautifully, the prettiest writing in the class. So,
Sejal, you want to say something?
You are talking about Adya.
yes.
Adya is also autistic child, and she is the strength is painting and all.
Yes, so beautiful mind map she makes. My God.
She's going for studio. I'm sending for the studio for big paintings, and she's
Wow.
she's doing canvas paintings and all the things. So basically, the strength is visual perception and a color of the hand
Better,
fine
yes,
the
better than anyone. Better than anyone in the class. She has
yes,
a good knowledge of coloring and the drawing she makes, it's perfect.
yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Winnie, you wanted to say something?
Yes, actually, they say na कि autistic kids are very cute. So my son also, he's like mild autistic or ADHD, but at the home they are different. In school they are different because at a certain time they go to school. तो घर पे जो उनके बिहेवियर आते हैं वो घर मतलब स्कूल में इतने नहीं होते. स्कूल में दे आर समटाइम्स स्वीट, काम.
एक बात बताऊं, नॉर्मल बच्चे, मेरी एक नॉर्मल बेटी है, नॉर्मल बच्चे भी घर में अलग स्कूल में अलग होते हैं.
Yes.
It's not just that you have your autistic son who is a little different behaved at home, because I had a friend's daughter who told me that if I don't behave my actual self at home, where else will I get to show my true colors? School, I am expected to be in that boundary, which I still follow that. But at home, let me be myself. घर में हम पैजामा में घूमते हैं, सास ससुर आते हैं तो नहीं करते ना वो काम.
Their myself is very dangerous, ma'am, sometimes. So it's very not so easy. It's very challenging sometimes.
It is. And you know what I tell? I mean, since you are a parent, I tell the parents whom I meet and I counsel, I tell them, God doesn't give such children to everybody. भगवान भी देखते हैं कि किन से ये हो सकता है.
They can handle, yes.
Just like the way we say these children are special, even the parents who are selected for these children are also very special. सबको नहीं देते, everybody, सबकी बस में भी नहीं है ये हैंडल करना ऐसे बच्चों को.
Just we have to make less expectations from them, not so hard.
Not only that, you need to make your child be ready to the harsh world. The world is very bad outside. Yes. And for such people, normal लोगों के लिए दुनिया बुरी है. Imagine for such people. It's very bad. The world is very bad. We need to be that pillar of strength for our children so that they are not disturbed or perturbed by what the world is talking or doing to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Unless we give that confidence, that will not come from the outside world.
True.
Anybody else who want to say what? Yes, Vidya.
Yes, when I was in the before school, I had a kid who's very in ASD and what to say, he's very hyper. So first and all, I don't know how to calm them. I will scold and all. Then I stopped that. Then I started to make an eye contact with him. With the eyes, I started to speak and he started to understand. So whenever he gets into a bad behavior, if I go stand in front and see his eyes, he will immediately cools down. So that was something good that he understood. Okay, I have to calm myself. I have to control myself like that. So that was very special, and he's always in the morning. If I didn't say good morning, if I was very busy, he makes a point. He'll come in front and say good morning, good morning, good morning. Till I say good
Oh my
morning, he will
God.
not leave this.
So
That's what now
sweet.
we're. Yes, ma'am. He's very sweet, but he is very helping. And if we are in any trouble, he will sense it first, and he will try to solve it before we think of it. So that extra special thing is there with these kids, which is very lovely and magical, ma'am.
See, especially when it comes to autism, I don't know how many of you have watched the series called The Good Doctor. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. You should not miss this. It's there on YouTube. I think there are 4 seasons to it already. I think the 5th one is also out. That's what I heard recently. It's about a doctor in US who is an autistic person. An autistic person becomes a surgeon. So you should watch it. Lakshmi ma'am, you should watch it for sure.
I recently watched that. What is the name? Advocate 2. It is also very, matlab, we, because I honestly I never came across autistic children or special children too many, so didn't had very basic ideas also about them. But लगता है कि they have their own understanding, they have their own world, they have their own way of looking things and understanding things.
See, and there was a time, there was a stigma, and the laws of the land were also not supporting. Today, you can't deny admission to any child in any school, first thing.
Yes.
Gives you enough and more accommodations and modifications. So people, children and parents can avail these kind of support. And eventually, ये सब आएगा ही हमारे classes में. Such children are a part of our system. You can't just send them off to another planet. They are part of this planet. जब वो बड़े हो जाएंगे वो आप तब एक्सेप्ट करोगे. इससे अच्छा है कि उनको छोटे से ही हमारे दुनिया में शामिल कर लो ना.
Right.
Sakshi, you want to say something?
Good evening, ma'am. It's lovely to hear you all. You know, मेरा खुद का son is lower grade autistic. So मुझे तो सारी कुछ कहानी it's like मैं मेरे अंदर जो चल रहा था it's now like सुन रहा है सब कुछ. So it's good to be here, you know.
How old is your son, Sakshi, if I can ask you
Ma'am,
that?
yes, he is 9 years old now. He is in 5th grade. Everything is going good.
He goes to a regular school and he takes therapies?
Yes, ma'am. Occupational therapy is there. Counseling is also there. And, you know, I am the teacher in the same school. So he's happy now. My mom is there all the time.
Okay, good that you are getting the support. And see, for a parent, for a mother, all of us, most of us are mothers here. So the moment, as a mother, the moment somebody tells you that your child has autism or your child has this particular disability, it's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy for any parent to accept it. First question is, why my child?
Once, you know, if we have accepted, then things are sorted. Then we know how to lead this and we are really proud.
And that's the most difficult part, no, Sakshi, that you accept it. You need lots of courage and lots of, I don't know what, hats off to the people who accept it as early as possible, because we believe in early intervention. Early intervention, jitni jaldi pakad loge, it's all the more better that the child will bridge the gap and achieve the normal milestones like other children. But the acceptance and parents are in denial mode till it's actually quite late.
Yes. Ma'am, now I goes to grade 1, grade 2 children, you know, and there's a special connection. I don't know, whenever a child is special, I feel like a special bond. So they are not even connected to the subject teachers. And once I go like once a week to the child, na, they are making something for me. Hi, teacher, you are mine, like that. So it's very, good thing.
Good, good. Okay, can we continue? Shall we go back to what a teacher can do in class? Okay, we are done with the common red flags that you see in class is something which we have done. And then, okay, too much heavy stuff that we did. So look at the picture. What do you see? Make a note of what you saw. Okay, what did you see? If you want to share your thoughts before I actually give you the explanation. Yes, Sakshi.
Ma'am, first I saw a girl,
That's
and
enough.
then there were
That's enough.
two.
That's enough. First, what you
Okay,
saw is what I want.
a
Bas.
girl.
Okay, great. Who else?
Two horses.
Okay, wonderful. Vidya, what did you see?
Girl, ma'am.
Girl. Okay. Anybody else who wants to share what they saw?
Expression.
Sorry?
Expression.
Expression. Okay. Kavita?
Tension, ma'am. She is in tension.
Oh,
So
okay.
much of
The girl is in tension. Okay. And we expect all our children in our class to think in the same way when we write something on the board or when we say something. We expect all our children to say the same thing. How we ourselves can't agree on
A
what
bat. A bat.
bed.
Yeah, a bat. A
Oh,
small bed. Bet,
oh,
bet.
bed. Okay, got it, got it. Wonderful.
I saw a baby, ma'am.
Baby. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think the climax is over. Let's go to the results. If you saw the face of a woman, which I think most of us did, it's an indicator that you are extremely tired. You might overlook your own needs too often in order to meet the needs of others. You're the people pleaser, and it's causing you to be exhausted. You need to prioritize yourself as number one. It will take some practice, but you will get there, and you'll never be happier. So all of us need a break in life, or rather, most of us. Somebody told me about the horses. It means that you should be patient. Maybe you're feeling extremely dissatisfied with life right now, but something good is coming your way. Your grievances will be over soon.
So correct. I saw horses. So true.
You first notice the small details as the bird, mountains, and somebody told me about the little bed that they saw. It means you have a lot of great opportunities to look forward to in life. You help others as a means of success, but never expect anything in return. Your prizes are coming soon.
Wonderful.
That's for the small details that if at all you notice that. Okay, so coming to our main problem, the regular teacher has children with special needs in the classroom. Their role is crucial in ensuring that these students receive the necessary support to succeed. What can a teacher do? Simple things that you need to work with these children. It's a cost effective one. where you don't have to do major changes. You have to promote acceptance. Like what we said about the parents, the same thing applies to even teachers. You need to accept and value each child and respect the diversity and the differences in the child. And you need to teach that to your class, other students in your class also. Unless you create an atmosphere, it will not happen. So the thing is, don't sit and crib that you have such a child in your class. Accept it. You are blessed to have a child like this in your class. Set the tone for inclusivity. So you need to teach empathy, kindness, understanding, sense of help and support in other children, because as teachers we know that after the parents, especially the mother, the child looks at the teacher as a role model. There is a stage in the child's life where the teacher, whatever the teacher says, is the gospel truth. There's no, even if they go, we have our own children who say that, nahi, ma'am ne aise bola tha, I have to do like this only. Even if the ma'am is wrong and the mother is correct. So we can show this, we can teach this inclusivity to our children. So the peer buddy system, which Vidya was talking about, where the children are paired with other students who are able to help and support. These are simple things which anybody can do. A regular teacher can just a little bit of thought into it and patience help and support these children and bring them into, try to make them fit into the mainstream as much as possible. And nothing wrong in knowing what is an IEP. IEP is an individualized education program, which for all the special children, there is an IEP written by the therapist who works with the child, be it a speech therapist, occupational therapist, counselor, or a special educator. Usually it's a special educator. And in the Western countries, it's a group effort where the parents, all the therapists, the regular teachers, everybody is kept in the team. And if the child is a little older, as in a child who's taking support, who's older than 14 years of age, is also part of the IEP, where they know what is the target, short-term target and the long-term target, be it for a month, be it for a quarter, or be it for the annual target, what the child should achieve by the end of next year. And it's good that the general teacher is also kept in the loop so that she understands and supports the child. I mean, the effort has to be from the mental health specialist as well to keep the general teacher in the loop. And the next one is, as general teachers, we special educators, therapists are all approachable. We are also human beings. You can always connect to somebody who will help you, make you understand any challenges you face. We are there to help and work with. Most important, parents. If you see there's an issue with the parent, it's how you put it to the parent. Speak to the parent about the strengths, challenges. Of course, we do have PTMs, but regular communication and a little awareness about how to deal, what to do, always helps. And simple things that you can do in class, use differentiated instruction, as in, for example, if the child is slow in completing work, where the others may write 10 sentences, this child may write only 4 or 5. We are checking the level of understanding, not the capacity to write, the speed and the accuracy. That's not what we are there to teach the child. And even when the child has to complete the work, where the other children are doing 10-word problems, this child can do 4. That's sufficient. And if the child is unable to read, a child with disability to basically the child is unable to read, as in dyslexia. So there what you can do is somebody can read it loud, read a word problem loud to the child, so that the child focuses on understanding the problem and trying to solve it. And then multi-sensory approach, wish we had this when we grew up. If the child is a visual learner, instead of giving long multi-step instructions, which we say, put it up as a chart, make it visual instructions. First thing you do this in the morning, then you do this. There are children who are visual learners, and whatever instructions we give, it has to be clear and concise, not the long passages they will not be able to remember. You can break the tasks also into simpler things, and you can make them sit closer. They may need to sit, if the child has some visual issues or instruction following, closer to the teacher, away from the window. If they get distracted, don't make the child sit near the window. Obviously, bahar dekhega bacha. So closer to the board, or right under the nose of the teacher. And I told you about the visual aids, the charts, the schedules to help them understand the routine. First, you have these two periods, then you have a fruit break. You have all this in the form of a picture instead of long sentences. And you have adaptive material, use technology, where large print books, and you have this, I don't know how many of you are aware, as special educators, we know we have this scale kind of a thing where the child will not have to keep the finger. So there's a transparent portion of it wherein the child will follow inside the scale. All your specialized things, simple things, and if the child has issues with pencil grasping, you have the gripper which you get. It's available on Amazon also. If the child doesn't have the tripod grip, you get this gripper, and which helps a child to hold the pencil in the correct position. And yes, co-teach with a special education teacher who can provide additional support. Special educators are trained, and they have different strategies for working with students. So in case anybody needs any help, connect with a specialist, because they are trained and their qualification is to work with children in a different way. And ideally, you attend IEP meetings so that you also understand and you also are part of, because you give instructions and you give your inputs as to what area the child is struggling. Accordingly, the IEP can be modified or made for the child. Most important, what we can do as teachers, be patient. I know it's not easy with the classroom, with the school scenario education system today. You have your targets, you have your burden of working in schools, but show some empathy, be patient with these kids, because it's not their fault or they're not doing it intentionally. And encourage independence, self-advocacy, wherein the child can become as independent as possible, help them learn the problem-solving skills. Yes, and you need to be willing to change your lesson plans, strategies as per the child's progress and needs. Doesn't mean that I have this plan, come what may, you have to fit into this. No. The child is struggling with that, do something else. As special educators and therapists, we do that. The moment the plan A doesn't work, we immediately change it to something else. There is always way for improvement, place for improvement. Seek feedback from specialists, colleagues, trying out new strategies. Attend workshops, seminars. You can always keep yourself informed, updated about the strategies. There's always, and trust me, I want to say one thing here. Keep updated about the new teaching strategies, accommodations, and all that. And trust me, all these things which we do with our special needs children, the same thing can be implemented with normal children, and it does work. I've seen that. Personally, I've experienced that. Any inputs that anybody wants to give me?
Question. Do the squint in the eye and for learning disability have some connection?
Not necessarily. I don't, I've not seen something like that. Anybody, any other inputs? Anybody wants to give me any inputs? Share your thoughts.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
I teach grade 11 and 12.
Yeah.
So usually children come from various schools. And I have experienced that, parents do not want to disclose the disability of the child. As in, like, I teach commerce. So, in accountancy, when they have to deal with numbers, the parent does not disclose it. They feel it very ashamed or, to share it that, the child is not doing it well. So, in the results also, the school does not discuss the results and all. So, they are admitted. We find it very difficult when they are in classroom. They don't understand anything or they're very slow in adapting to what we have to do. And as you know, 11th and 12th portions needs to be finished earlier. We need to prepare them for the board exams, ensure that their results are good. How do we tackle with children of those types?
Usually schools, I mean, what I have seen here in Delhi NCR is schools have an entrance test of their own. Does your school have an entrance test of their own, or do they admit on the basis of the grade?
No. We have entrance test. So in entrance test they write. We ask them to write a paragraph for about 250 words and ask them general questions and all those things. So on an Outlook, then we never come across, like, we can't find out that they are having any issues when they're learning in the class. That time is when we feel that they're not able to match up.
And parents don't disclose about this.
Yes, after multiple discussions or something, yeah, we had this issue in 10th grade. Now he or she is fine. Is what they discuss. They don't want to go.
I understand what you're trying to tell me. This is, again, it comes up as a stigma, and I don't know, parents have this weird kind of a conception that after a particular age they will outgrow it. I don't know how they outgrow it.
Yes, that is what they claim.
They say, I have cases when we call the parent and say that your child has issues, please address it. So the mother and usually the grandparents, I mean, with due respect, I'm saying this, the grandparents come up and say something as in, no, his father was also like that. After 10th birthday, he'll be perfectly fine.
Yes, true.
So where is that magic wand of 10th birthday that the next morning the child will wake up normal, is it? This is something which is very difficult, and they don't realize, and by the time they keep ignoring and leave it, it's too late.
Yes.
And I agree with what you're trying to say, ma'am, because 12th, they don't score good. They may not clear the 12th paper, and then they end up going to a diploma or something like that, wherein they will consider the 10th marks and they will go somewhere else after that.
Yes.
And frankly, like what you said, when they come into commerce and these accounts, the ones who would not have got a seat in science stream will come into this.
Yes, and they tell that commerce is easier. When they have to do it, they find it very difficult, and later they would say, I'm not understanding it, I'm not following it.
For that matter, even humanities is not easy. We have this bad mindset with us saying that science comes at the top. Then if you're not capable for science, you go for commerce. If you're
Yes.
worthless, then you go to humanities.
Humanities, exactly.
But it's not
Exactly.
that. Humanities
Yes.
is very challenging.
Yes,
And
that is not true. True.
the times have changed. You have your career is not just a engineer or a doctor
Or a
today.
doctor. True, 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 true.
Just go into CBSE website, and there you will see there are over 200 plus professions to think about.
Yes.
It's not gone are those days where you think only those people are successful in life.
Yes, yes.
But sadly, we can't change the mindset of people so easily. That's
True,
the
true,
problem. Can't do much
true.
about.
Okay, ma'am. All
But
right.
but there should be some screening or something. I mean, parents have ideally they should declare that my child has this problem.
Yes, the school is ready to help. We teachers are ready to help, but they are not ready to take that help. They find it offensive when we try to tell them that, uh, please let us take a help. Let us go to the counselor or, have a session and then identify.
See, CBSE, CBSE schools, I'm talking about the CBSE board, till grade 12, you have your scribes, you have your accommodations and modifications. The paper can be modified, you'll get more time, use of calculator, somebody who's going to help as a reader. I mean, you get so much of facility. Only thing is, we need to get over that stigma and take all this help.
Yes. Ma'am, since you mentioned use of calculator, is that provision there?
Yes, that is there. If you're formally assessed, and if you, I will share my email ID. Just get in touch with me. I'll let you know about the provisions, because you do have this provision of getting using a calculator if the child is diagnosed with dyscalculia, and by a government doctor. There's a set of
Yes, yes.
rules
Okay,
and
okay,
regulations.
okay. Okay, ma'am. Surely, surely. That would be a great help.
I'll share my email at the end of it, so you can
Yes.
connect with me there.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
If you have a dyslexia or maybe diagnosed with the learning disabilities or ADHD or somewhere, then maybe you can, provide all CBSE rules, according CBSE rules, you get this calculations or extra time, or
A
maybe
reader,
a
a scribe.
writer. Yeah, you can provide writer also. So even for Asha, I suggest, if the child is like maybe you have a parent issue, you can tell the parents, we are not label anything, or we are not doing, any. We are just helping the child, so you can just meet a child psychologist or any counselor, so they can guide you as an, parent. They can help you a different way for learning.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The school has the counselor, ma'am, and the counselor is ready to help. They feel is that parent feels that if we go for an assessment on the mass card, if it is somewhere mentioned, then or in future they would be labeled. That is what is their concern.
Right.
Maybe
So
you should try have a workshop or some kind of a session with parents who come for grade 11. Maybe you should have a session with them saying that whatever you share is all confidential and it will not be disclosed anywhere, and nobody will give you that kind of a stigma.
And it is not mentioned in mass card also. I am correct, no, ma'am?
No, yeah, you're correct.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Anytime.
Sejal, ma'am.
yeah, thank you. Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes,
Um,
Sej.
uh, like according school setup in a special education. Uh, so what are the, because every school has different criteria. Because I am working last 18 years. I was in Jaipur. I was in Surat. I was in Mumbai. So my question is like. In our school, I have a different module about specialist, because I am training a shadow teacher. I am training a parent also. We have a support group for parent. We have we have a teachers training program. We like educate teachers also. We do like normal curriculum with uh, my area is not academic, the things. My area is in age appropriate, growth. So whether the child is, in the fourth standard, but he is doing curriculum in a academic curriculum, he is doing second standard with the shadow teacher's help. So my area is, targeting a behavioral issues and age appropriate planning. So I just want to know, what are the school setup? मतलब school में exactly कैसा setup होना चाहिए?
See, presently, where are you, Sejal ma'am? Where are you placed?
I'm in Surat right now.
Surat, okay.
Right.
See, school setup should have, ideally, if you're talking about this, so you will somewhere touch the functional academics as well.
Correct.
Yes, you want to look at we don't work at the grade level of the child, we work at the level where the child is functioning.
Correct.
Yes, so that's what is SEN support. So we jab tak building is not there, the foundation is not good, I can't build a 16 floor, I can't start with my 16th floor. So
Correct.
the foundation is very important. And having said that, what you can do in a school setup is you can have, there are a few schools which I know here in Gurgaon, they have something called pre-vocational training.
Mm-hmm.
They identify these children by the time they're in grade 5, 6, and whatever their interests, their strengths, and their areas which they're comfortable with, they have this pre-vocational training for these children from grade 7 upwards. That is more than the grade, I would say 12 years upwards. So they are given that pre-vocational idea in few ABC different fields, so that by the time the child is 15 years old and ready to go into some vocational training, so you are already familiar with 2, 3, 4 areas and you can choose one of them.
Correct.
And go for your vocational training, so that the child is able to make a career in that particular field. Career, I wouldn't say as a full-fledged, not becoming a pilot or becoming something else like that, but at least the child is able to understand and be independent later in life. I'm talking for the severe cases.
Right.
That is something which you can implement at the school level. And if you do something like that, there will be lots of parents, I'm sure, even in Surat, even in the big cities, I've seen that you don't have that kind of a vocational support. Maybe we'll train them to pass these exams. You have NIOS to support. Not that NIOS is any easy, but the children take the same exam over a period of 3 years.
Right.
You know how NIOS works. But then the thing is, in this vocational training, you're focusing on the strength. So that is something you can come up with in a school setup. That will be wonderful. It will be a blessing for parents and for children.
Okay. Got it.
I hope I've answered you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sakshi, you wanted to say something?
Ma'am, my son is good in understanding. He's really good in communicational skills. He's the best one in the class and probably in the school of his age. But he's a slow writer. So whenever all the children are doing like question number 10, he's on question number 2.
Okay. How
He
old
knows
is he?
the answer orally, but he is not interested in writing.
How old is he?
9 years old.
Okay.
So in like CBSE in the 5th class, there are full-fledged answer of 1 page, 1.5 page. And he is knowing the concept very well, can understand, can explain, and he is asking me, Mama, why should I write only? Why CBSE person cannot judge me by like what I have?
He has a point. I don't deny that. If you're just judging the knowledge, it need not be always writing. It's what's inside my head. You need to judge me on what's inside my head. So, okay. our generation, I don't know how old you are, or at least my generation, I consider myself a little older. So I would say, when was, okay, forget about my age or your age. When was the last time we guys picked up a paper and wrote one full sheet, an A4 size paper?
To make our kids IP.
You are doing okay now. You may use. There are people who use technology. I use technology. I type my IEP. I don't write it.
Yes, most of us.
Yes. And forget about your IEP. Forget about the work. You work in a school. You work in some organization, and there you're expected to write. You write because that's wo nahi karoge. Your salary is at stake. Your money is at stake. But otherwise, when was the last time you actually picked up a paper and you wrote a page?
We don't remember actually.
Actually,
Last year, ma'am.
that's the answer I wanted. We don't remember. Probably a college exam which we have given.
Yes.
And there was a time when we didn't have smartphones, the touch phones.
Yes, ma'am.
Today I give you a touch phone. I give you the Nokia, the first phone which we had, and you have to type. How easy is it? Even worse, Android to Apple. I had Android for nearly 2 decades. Then changing to Apple was so difficult for me. So the point I'm trying to tell you here, Sakshi, is see, the next generation will do minimal writing.
Yes, ma'am.
So eventually it will all go away about, I mean, yes, as part of the CBSE thing, you have to write all that. But we don't have to think so much. Did we know what ChatGPT was till 5 years ago? Or even
No,
2
ma'am.
years ago?
No.
No. So we don't know what's in the future. All your AI-driven technology, God knows where we are heading.
Ma'am, I am really optimistic, and you know, I say always, Array, there is a future, yeah, there is a golden future coming up. You don't have to worry.
No, yes, it is. You don't have to worry. And like what I said, I mean, when I was in school, I could never imagine somebody writing an exam on my behalf, wherein I just dictate and somebody writes it for me. That was something which I couldn't imagine, which is possible today. In the worst scenario, what will happen? I will dictate. I don't want to write. I'll get a scribe who will do the writing for me. Having said that, I'm not saying...
Ma'am, I think there are some norms for that.
No, there are certain norms. Having said that, I'm not saying don't make him write. You should make him write because it is essential for certain development and growth. So maybe you can do simple steps. I'll share my email ID. You just write to me. I will share certain tips with you about what you can do as a mother to make the child write. You can give him simple writing practice, timed writing. Don't put that boring timer. You get these Android phones has this timer called mouse timer, where a mouse eats an apple and eats apples and finally reaches the cheese. The same thing for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever the duration. Children are excited to see that. So I have children who actually pause the timer. They're like, ma'am, I need to use the eraser. So they pause the timer on my phone and then they erase and then start the timer. So it's the fun, innovative way. Every day, since he is in school, he must be having languages other than English as well. Maybe Hindi or a regional language. He can just write 2 lines, read 2 lines and write 2 lines. And you can give him some kind of an, yes, typing is also an option. But then we are working more on how the child can write.
Yes.
The movement of the hand. Vinny, yes, typing is also an option.
As my son also not interested in writing earlier, but we force, we make a paper and cheering, handwriting course, and so much things. Ultimately, he has to write. Now he is in 4th. He is not doing in between the line very nice, very neat and clean, but he do.
if you the only thing which you can do here, Sakshi and Vinny both, is maybe if you want to work, want a specialist to work with your child, take him to an occupational therapist, maybe just twice a week. It's not that he has some
Yes, I'm already doing, ma'am. Already going.
yeah, the occupational therapist will ensure that the child gives a
Gripping
correct
and all.
pressure, the
Yes, ma'am.
position of the wrist, the position of the elbow, the fingers. They'll ensure that, and even the amount of pressure. Now, when I look back, I realized that I was putting too much pressure and my pencil grip was not right. My parents didn't know those days that this can be corrected by OT. So these are the things which will definitely make a difference. If you want to take an input from there, you can take it, but then again, practice and patience when it comes to writing.
I
Yes,
want
ma'am.
to add, something. Maybe Vinny and Sakshi, you can first, you have to be like पहले ऑब्जर्व करो अपने बच्चे का strength and weakness. If it is strength is, weakness is writing. See, I always tell my, parents counseling me because I don't know how to make roti. So I'll practice, and then maybe I can learn. Or maybe I can, if I don't know making roti, so maybe I can use the tools मैं roti maker से, roti बनाऊंगी. So that's, this is the way कि आज अगर मैं writing नहीं कर पाऊंगी, ठीक है, मैं सब बच्चे 10 पेज लिख रहे हैं, मैं 2 पेज लिख रहा हूँ. But that doesn't mean कि, we can give them a tools like ChatGPT दे दिया या assignment दे दिया या anything, you can किसी के अगर reading ही करना है या उसको learn करवाना है, so you can tell teacher to, कि इतना सारा नहीं लिख. And as a parent, you have to be very very strong कि मेरा बच्चा नहीं करेगा मतलब नहीं करेगा, because we know our like child strength and weakness. Unnecessary burden देना, unnecessary उस पे pressure देना लिखने के लिए, that is I don't suggest. If we know कि मेरे बच्चे में ये weakness है, then this is the way you have to be, as a parent you have to be, very strong.
I agree, Sejal ma'am. Instead of focusing on the weaknesses, I think we should focus on the strengths of everybody.
Yeah.
वीकनेस है मेरे पास तो छोड़ो उसको, मेरा स्ट्रेंथ जो है उस पे काम करके विल मेक इट इवन मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर ना.
वीकनेस को इम्प्रूव करो
True.
थोड़ा थोड़ा करके, बट यू कैन टेल टीचर कि मेरा बच्चा इतना 3-4 पेज लिख रहा है क्योंकि उसकी कैपेसिटी इतनी ही है, बट वी कैन जेरोक्स द पेज एंड अगर आपको चेक करना है तो मैं जेरोक्स लगा दूंगा एंड गिव देम अ राइटिंग, स्कूल में ऐसे कुछ. I don't think so CBSE norms का कुछ ऐसा है, but you give them a writing base पे कि मैं xerox अगर 4 पेज लिख रहा है बाकी का 4 पेज मैं xerox लगा दूंगी ऐसे करके.
Ma'am, you know what I do? I write on behalf of him, but when I ask something that what is the point of writing this much, he give me a very good summary. So it's okay. I am just bothered about like जितना बच्चे को आता है, he cannot express by writing only, but CBSE goes through writing only. तो I know 10th और 12th में क्या होगा या क्या नहीं होगा, whatever it is, but I'm happy that at the end of the day he knows everything.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt, Shraddha, my internet is fluctuating. I will put stop record. Can you continue the recording?
1 second.
Sorry for the interruption.